Hello everyone, this is my vlog for The Masked Singer Season 9, Episode 5. Apologize if I end up chopping off the top of my head. For some reason I couldn't get my laptop quite adjusted the way that I normally have it. So, I'm thinking I'm going to do a much shorter vlog of this for TikTok. I was thinking about it last night and some of the things that I want to say on that if I do. I'm sorry that it has taken me so long once again to do this vlog. Battle depression, which makes it hard for me to even feel like doing stuff a lot of the time. So, but that's not what this vlog is about. So, in this vlog, I'll be discussing the new characters that were on episode 5, which ones were revealed and who they were. I'll talk about the panel's guesses as well as my thoughts on each character and who they may be. I'll let you know the songs each performed and how I feel they did in their performance, as well as telling the song the two battled to that were left to do that, who moved on, and the clues for that character that I noticed. And I always, when I do these, kind of give away, because I watch it with my grandson this season. I've been watching them with my grandson and then going back and watching the clues for the people that are still on there. So I'm kind of giving away when I do these who that person is by doing that, because I don't talk about as many clues for the other people because they're no longer on there, right? So anyway, episode 5 was Sesame Street Night, and it was great to see the characters that they chose to have on there, but it was very odd, in my opinion, and my sister's, that Kermit the Frog was not on there because he was revealed on there once upon a time to have been one of the characters, you know. So, there was a guest panelist who was Jennifer Nettles, who's the host of Farmer Wants a Wife. I've got that in my stuff to watch on Hulu, but I haven't started watching it yet. I thought it sounded interesting. More interesting than like The Bachelor and stuff like that, in my personal opinion. So, of course, the first to perform was the person that moved on, because that's the way that they're doing it this season, which was Squirrel from the last episode. She sang Just the Two of Us by Grover Washington Jr. featuring Bill Withers. I was like, I'm pretty sure back when they were singing, they didn't do the featuring stuff, but I guess that's the way they've edited how they sang now, or whatever. Anyway, she did a very good job, just like she did last week. Nicole noted that she sang in a lower register, which I noticed last week. Or maybe she didn't sing in that low of a register on episode 4. I don't honestly recall now. But anyway, Jenny felt like she knew her voice. I still felt like she was Anne Hathaway, though I wasn't sure about all of the clues connecting to her, especially the extra clue that she was in a movie or a few with Ken Jeong. I was like, nah, I'm pretty sure him and Anne Hathaway have not made a movie together yet. Anyway, so yeah, you know, I was like, But the panel's guesses for her after her initial performance was Ken went with Katherine Heigl because of Knocked Up and 27 Dresses. I liked that guess. Nicole went with Kate Hudson, which I also liked a lot. Jenny guessed Malin Ackerman. And Jennifer agreed with my guess of Anne Hathaway, who I would absolutely love to see on this show one day. I'm just saying, Anne, you know, if you should happen to watch this. Anyway, next up was Fairy. And sometimes when they walk out on the stage, I try to get a feel for who they are, or at least how old they are. With Fairy and Squirrel both, that was kind of difficult to do. But anyway, so yes, Fairy was next, and they showed, this is her clues, they showed a very fancy home that gave me Game of Thrones vibes, like where the sand snake and people like that lived. I keep wanting to say Westeros. Gosh, it's been a while since I've watched that show. But anyway, so there was also a wardrobe with open shelves on top that had numerous items on it. Of course, there was a smaller table with drawers as well. And I could not really see the items that were on either of those at any point. Like, they were so far from them that I couldn't really see them. She said she felt right at home-ish, um, which I will talk more about here in a second. They showed a feather duster, and she said some might say she's a bit of a Nepo fairy. They showed some pine cones. She said she charged, this is about the Nepo fairy thing, she said she charged neighborhood kids to come over and see her dad hanging out at home. They showed a kettle and a panther. Then they showed pictures of 3 men, and this is what gets me about the panel's guesses. Okay, they showed pictures of 3 men. I was not sure who the first guy was, and then I had a thought about who he might be, and I Googled him and was right. So the guys are Sean Penn from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, featuring Molly Ringwald, Rob Lowe, and Emilio Estevez. She's been several movies with Molly Ringwald. Yes, that's right. I saw these pictures and I went, Brat Pack, Molly Ringwald. Looking at her body style, listening to her sing once she did, I feel like she's Molly Ringwald, guys. So they showed these pictures while she says she could have taken a more direct route to fame, like some of her friends she grew up with. Right? And Molly Ringwald was acting when she was very young. She stepped away from that to do some other stuff. I couldn't find anything really about her furthering her education, though. But yeah, made me think of Molly Ringwald because, as I said, she stepped away from acting for several years to do other stuff. It's definitely somebody who was around in the 80s. Just saying. Several of the people that they named are about 5 to 10 years younger than Molly Ringwald. So, yeah. Anyway, they showed a basketball. Now they're all like, is her dad maybe a famous NBA person? Maybe she was in the Breakfast Club and there was an athlete that played basketball in it. Maybe. Anyway, so Molly, this goes to the home-ish thing. Molly's name on the Breakfast Club, in case you didn't know, was Claire Standish. Claire Standish, home-ish. There's your ish connection, maybe. She said she prioritized her education and traveled the world. Molly did do acting in Paris. She graduated from a school in Los Angeles, I believe it was. That was a French school. So she was fluent in French, and she traveled to Paris and did acting over there. But yes, then they showed her drinking from the spoon that was in the kettle, which kind of gave me some witch vibes. Molly Ringwald, by the way, was in the original Teen Witch movie, just saying. Eventually, her destiny led her back to the limelight of Tinseltown. I was going to look up and see if maybe there was something about her having to do with Tinseltown. Now, one clue I'm going to go ahead and mention, but that I wrote down further down here, was that they showed a badge, and Jenny connected that to CSI, and I'm like, I mean, Molly Ringwald is on Riverdale, and her husband on there, Luke Perry, rest his soul, was the sheriff. So there's a badge connection, right? But this next clue, well, coming up, a clue. Here, I loved it. She said office work wasn't for her. And then they showed a Christmas tree and she was putting a rubber ducky ornament on it. Ducky! I'm just saying. If y'all are Molly Ringwald fans, you've watched 16 Candles, you know Ducky. Come on. John Cryer from 2.5 Men, he played for Ducky on there. So, yeah, just saying. There's totally a Ducky clue. So anyway, she said she got to pursue... When she got back to Tinseltown, she got to pursue her loves, singing and acting. She said Oscar the Grouch is an old friend, and I am almost certain that Molly Ringwald has been on Sesame Street in the past, like when she was a teenager. And they mentioned that Fairy to them seemed like she was really short, like maybe 5'2". I believe this was Jenny and Jennifer Nettles that were talking about it. But I just want to say Molly Ringwald is 5'8", actually. And yes, Fairy does have pretty high heels, but also, I'm going to forget her name. Dionne Warwick was on there, and she looked like she was 5'2", 5'3", something like that, and she's actually 5'7". So somehow they are able to make people look not the height that they are when they're out there on stage. Also, I want to mention at this time, you may be going, Molly Ringwald's dad wasn't anyone famous or anything like that, but actually her dad was a blind jazz pianist, so maybe people wanted to go to their house and watch him just hang out, you know? Maybe not. I don't know. My other thought concerning her, given the people that are on there, is Ali Sheedy, but I do not think that she was on 16 Candles. So where's the ducky clue go with that? Anyway, so the song that she sang was You're No Good by Linda Ronstadt, which she did very, very good on. Her extra clue was Endless Love by Lionel Richie, and she said it means so much more to her than just romance. Now, I don't know about the body style with this, like the way the body looks with this person, but that, of course, made Brooke Shields come to mind because she was in the movie Endless Love, but Molly Ringwald was in a whole bunch of romance movies. I was trying to figure out if they played that song on any of them, and I couldn't find out right at the time whether or not Endless Love was played on any of the movies that Molly Ringwald was on, and now I'm thinking it seems like they played it on 16 Candles. I'm going to make myself a note here and be like 16 Candles, and then I am going to watch this movie and see if that song is on there, because I'm pretty sure that it is. Anyway, she said it means so much more to her than just romance. I already said that, sorry. I'm trying to mark my place so I can keep track of where I'm at, and I'm not doing a very good job of it. So anyway, oh, you know what? Brooke Shields. Badge, shield. It could be Brooke Shields, but what's the ducky have to do with Brooke Shields? I do not know. But yeah, then that was when I made the note of the badge because Jenny mentioned it. And so the panel's guesses for her were Jenny guessed Diana Ross's daughter, Tracy Ellis Ross, who was like 50 years old. Ken said Angelina Jolie, who is in her 40s maybe. And I was like, they're both too young to have been friends with Sean Penn, Rob Lowe, and Emilio Estevez. I feel like the panel dismissed that clue and the ducky clue, you know. Ducky, it's a rubber ducky. 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 Anyway, I'll stop. It annoys me because there are so many times that it's like they don't even pay attention to clues that seem like they're really important. Like these pictures of these three guys that are in the Brat Pack and you don't name any member of the Brat Pack. You know, like, okay. So anyway, Robin said Rashida Jones, who is Quincy Jones's daughter. He said it takes a nap to know a nap, or maybe Ken was one that said that, but somebody said that. And she's also too young. I think she's like 47. In my opinion, she's too young. And I guess they were the only ones that told their guess. That's interesting. Oh, right. Ken said Angelina Jolie, so that's 3 people. Sometimes they do all of them when there's a guest panelist. But anyway, so the last new character that performed was Jackalope. They were all female on this episode, which I found interesting because all the other episodes have had 2 guys and 1 female. So it's like some of these could have been on one of the other episodes, right? But anyway, it was clear to me that Jackalope was a social media person, so I didn't figure that I knew who she was, or didn't figure that I knew her at all. I do watch quite a bit of social media, but people don't always tell their names, you know? Like, what would y'all tell people my name is if you're not my family? Anyway, she sang Whenever, Wherever by Shakira. She did okay, but not great, in my opinion, and I think it partly had to do with the style of music that she was singing, that it was kind of harder for her to do actual singing. But anyway, no slight to Shakira or anything, but I feel like it was a difficult song for this particular person to sing. I figured that she'd be revealed first, just saying, because as I said, I thought Squirrel did very good. I thought Fairy did very, very good. And I thought Jackalope did okay. That's my personal opinion. And that's after watching it twice with the Hulu, everyone's trying to watch it stuff not being an effect the second time, or having an impact. So I did note some of her clues. That she mentioned Modern Family and Outcast. She said something about her arena, and they showed a Scream mask. Now, if she's a social media person, these could all be things that she talked about on her social media account, right? Like if I were to be on The Masked Singer, they would show stuff that referenced The Masked Singer. They would show stuff that referenced national parks, missing people, you know, food delivery. I'm just saying, you know, they might show stuff that references certain movies or shows that I've talked about, might show stuff that references certain songs that I have mentioned or sang. So, and her extra clue was 30 under 30, which I was thinking that they showed for Fairy for some reason. I don't know why, but that was her, one of hers. That didn't help me, of course, because they show like the phone, the obvious phone thing with all of the stuff's popping up and people liking it and following and whatnot and the other, and I'm like, social media, just like JoJo Siwa. I don't know who this is. I know who JoJo Siwa is now, but anyway, I do watch certain people that I really know, you know, like PewDiePie and various people, but anyway, so Nicole guessed Lele Pons, and she was pretty sure that she figured out because the person said something about that they hung out at Coachella. Jennifer Nettles said Camila Cabello, which I kind of like that guess, but this lady did not sing Shakira very well, and I felt like well, she really didn't know who to say, so she went with Camila Cabello is what happened. I felt like if it was Camila Cabello, she would have done much better on that Shakira song. Would have been a good one for her to do. So anyway, Jenny went with Jenna Ortega, who played for Wednesday on the Addams Family movie, and I liked that guess, but, or did she play her on the series? I'm trying to remember now, but anyway, I felt like she would have sang it better also. Everyone voted, and oddly and sadly, Squirrel was revealed. She was revealed first, so I chose to stick with Anne Hathaway, as did Jennifer Nettles, and I thought the Squirrel performed much better than Jackalope, and I felt like everyone was surprised to see Squirrel go home first, even though they were the ones that voted, right? Robin said Heather Graham. Ken stuck with Katherine Heigl. Nicole said Kate Hudson, and Jenny guessed Malin Ackerman, who she did turn out to be. Now, I know every single one of the people that they guessed except Malin Ackerman, and I just want to say I once again was disappointed that she wasn't Anne Hathaway. I would love to see Anne on this show. I don't know if The Masked Singer is not inviting her. I don't know if they're inviting her and she's not accepting. I don't know if maybe she's just got too much going on. She's not interested in doing it. I don't know. She has kids. I feel like her kids would enjoy seeing her on there. What outfit would they pick for Anne Hathaway? I don't know. It would be interesting to find out though, wouldn't it? So another note that I want to make is that I have seen literally every movie they named that Malin Ackerman has been in, but I honestly don't recall her being in any of them. I'm just saying, you know, she sings very good. I was surprised that she was revealed first, so, you know, and I kind of want to go back and watch the movies again and be like, oh, okay, so that's her. And I feel like maybe the pictures that they used for her on there, I just didn't recognize her in those pictures, you know. So then, of course, Jackalope and Fairy battled, and they battled to On Top of the World by Imagine Dragons, and I was like, I don't think I knew that they sang that song, but they clearly do. Anyway, Fairy was the clear winner, in my personal opinion, though I did feel like Jackalope did better on Top of the World than she did on the Shakira song, because she actually got to sing, and you could, like, it showcased her voice better than the song that she chose to sing for the first one did. So, luckily, the panel agreed and revealed Jackalope, whom I knew I wouldn't know, you know. she's some social media person, obviously, as am I, though I'm not near as popular as she is. But anyway, so the panel's guesses were Nicole and Robin both went with Lele Pons. Jenny stuck with Jenna Ortega. This season they've been pretty much sticking with who they originally guessed. A couple of times they may have changed their guess, but the people haven't been on there for real long a lot of times when they guess, so it's like, So anyway, Ken said Selena Gomez, whom I would also love to see on this show. Selena, come on, girl. I know you got a lot going on, but come on. What outfit would they give Selena Gomez? A bat. There's already been a bat on there, I think. But, because she was on the witch show, so maybe a bat. Maybe a raven. Anne Hathaway, I think, would make a really pretty, like, they could give her a blue dragon outfit. I don't know. An angel. Just saying. Anyway. So, yeah. Oh, yes. So, yeah. Back to, sorry, I have to remember where I was at. Back to Jackalope. So, I personally chose not to even guess who she was, since I figured she was nobody that I knew anyway, like JoJo Siwa, right? Though when JoJo Siwa was on there, I had decided my sister was right, and it was JoJo Siwa, because she watches her with her grandkids and stuff, and she knew her voice and her character and stuff, and I didn't really know her, but I went and watched some of her stuff, and I was like, yeah, I guess it's probably her. So anyway, Jackalope did turn out to be Lele Pons, whom I do not know, so at least I was right about that part, right? I'm like, have I gotten anyone right this season yet? Oh, I was right that she was a big social media person whom I did not know. It seems like I did get one right this season, though. Trying to remember who. But anyway, and there were some other notes that I wanted to make, but that is all that I wrote down. However, so Fairy moved on, and she will perform against 2 new characters on episode 6, which is airing tomorrow night, because I'm being so slow about doing this stuff. I've had a lot going on, not in my life, not in my personal life or whatever, but like up here. Many of you, I'm sure, know how that is. I did find a job. It did not work out. I applied for another job that I was really, really, really hoping would hire me, and for whatever reason, they chose not to hire me. So there's something else I'm going to apply for, which I'm not going to get into on here. But anyway, so the one that moved on, as I said, was Fairy. And I am really, really, really thinking she is Molly Ringwald. My strong clues for Molly Ringwald for her are the basketball, all the teenage movies and stuff that she has been in, especially The Breakfast Club with the athlete who was Emilio Estevez, who played basketball, right? I mean, he played everything, but he had a basketball in the movie, I'm pretty sure. And the Endless Love, all of the romantic movies, The Badge, I feel like references Luke Perry, who was her husband on Riverdale. The ducky, the rubber ducky, guys. The 16 candles, rubber ducky. Anyway, and her dad was, as I said, a blind pianist. So it would be cool not to just go to their house and watch him hang out, but like I'm sure that he practiced his piano stuff while he was at home, and the home-ish thingy. She was Claire Standish on The Breakfast Club, guys, so I really feel she was one of the Brat Pack. She grew up with Sean Penn, Rob Lowe, and Emilio Estevez. So, like, I really feel that she is Molly Ringwald, but I also really felt like Squirrel was Anne Hathaway. So we'll see. And I really feel like Medusa is Jennifer Love Hewitt. You guys feel free to let me know who you think these characters might be. Let me know what you think of my opinions on who they may be. And everyone have a great whatever time of night or day it is in your part of the world. Stay safe and stay positive as you can, because there's a lot of stuff going on, right?